Today is July 29th, 2025. Not yet 7 months into fascism under dictator Donald Trump, and I am in South Florida. The concentration camp is down that road. The public is allowed to go about 0.2 of a mile before coming to a military-style checkpoint, at which time you have to turn around if you do not have official business there. I debated very seriously whether to shoot this video or not, but as a part-time reporter, thought it was worth documenting. I do not want this to be confused for torture porn, but it's hard not to think of it that way. The Everglades Auschwitz. The Everglades Auschwitz. Around me is a national wildlife preservation. Contractors coming and going. Don't ever do business with those guys. They are complicit. They are complicit in the Everglades Auschwitz. I was hoping there would be protesters today for me to join with. Unfortunately, there are not. Of course, there's a fucking cop here to support state-run terror. The cops and state-sponsored terror have been synonymous ever since there were cops. Traffic continues to go by on US 41. A small contingent of media and onlookers across the street. This is the Big Cypress. Orienting you, I'm looking due north right now. To the east of me is Everglades National Park. Surrounding this is the Big Cypress National Monument Wildlife Refuge. Regularly, what would you call them? Torture porn tourists? Psychopaths? Come by to take selfies with the sign, to get out of their pickup trucks with the Trump bumper stickers on the back and take selfies with the Everglades Auschwitz sign like it's some fucking joke. Because they're proud of it. The psychopaths are proud of it. The Republicans, the right-wingers are proud of it. This is a concentration camp where Men around America are snatched up off the street without any due process because of their belonging to a persecuted group. That persecuted group is immigrants. That persecuted group is brown people. And so they are brought here to suffer. It's about 95 degrees today. And men in cages down that road suffer without due process, without the rights afforded them, guaranteed to them under the Constitution, guaranteed before the dictator arrived for his second term and wadded the Constitution up and threw it in the garbage can. This is fascism. This is state-sponsored terror. This is a concentration camp. This is the Everglades Auschwitz. And down that road are where the people are suffering. And here is where the people are celebrating. Here is where the right-wingers come to celebrate. Torture porn.
This country is the rule of law.
And they're proud of it.
I'm proud of that because this
Yes.
country is the rule of law.
There's no law taking place in there, friend. There is no due process in there. There is no due process in there. Those people are not criminals. Those people have never been tried. They've never been charged. They've never had access to an attorney. Those people are victims because they share your skin color. And you will be in there before too long. Yes, it is racist in there. That is 100% racism in there. Absolutely. Absolutely, that is racism in there. Plain and simple, white supremacy, white power. The myth, of course, that it's only the criminals, that it's only the supposed bad people who are being sent here to Everglades Auschwitz. Of course, that is ridiculous. None of these people have been charged. None of these people have been convicted. None of these people have been accused of any crime. But here they suffer. Here they suffer. On the border of the Miccosukee Indian reservation. People who've suffered for centuries at the hands of this country and its racism and its colonialism and its genocide and its barbarity. The contractors come and go. They are complicit. They are complicit. The guards at Dachau and Birkenau and Bergen-Belsen and Auschwitz were just following orders also. Just doing my job. Just following orders. Concentration camps are nothing new to America. This is the latest. Japanese Americans were sent to concentration camps during World War II. They were persecuted without having committed any crime, victims of their ancestry. They did not have due process. They were not charged. They did not receive a trial. They were rounded up and sent to concentration camps across the West, over 100,000 of them, American citizens. This is a concentration camp. The Germans had death camps for the Jews. This is a concentration camp. A concentration camp is where victims of persecution outside of due process or the rule of law are sent to suffer because of their membership in that group. And that is exactly what is taking place in here, down that road. And when the first victim dies, then this too will be a death camp. And that may come from some disease, it may come from heat stroke, it may come from drowning in a hurricane, it may come from brutalization at the hands of the prison guards. Today this is a concentration camp, a tourist concentration camp, where people come to take selfies. And when that first person dies down that road, then it will be a death camp. And here, adjacent to the Miccosukee reservation, where the indigenous people of what is now called America were rounded up, displaced, and sent to so-called reservations across the country to suffer and die as part of a genocide in concentration camps, death camps. This will follow in that sickening, sickening lineage. It's real, and it's worse than you imagined. Worse than I imagined. But the fascists, the Republicans, all of them, anyone who voted for Trump owns this. Anyone who voted for Trump owns this, because there was no question from what he'd done the first time around and what he said he was going to do on the campaign trail, that he was going to take the country in this direction. Break up with your Republican friends. They are not real people. They are psychopaths. They support this. People in cages, suffering under the sun in the Everglades Auschwitz. And they're proud of it.